Vaginal ultrasonography in dysfunctional uterine bleeding. Dysfunctional uterine bleeding refers to a symptom of excessive, prolonged, unexpected and acyclical bleeding regardless of diagnosis and cause. It is one of the common gynecological complaints that encountered in both peri and postmenopausal women. And TBS is useful to detect causes of abnormal uterine bleeding like fibroids, adenomyosis, endometrial polyp, endometrial carcinoma, adnexal pathologies, and also to determine the abnormal and normal endometrial thickness and morphology. TBS also has proved to be a non-invasive method with good accuracy in the diagnosis of myo and endometrial abnormalities. It is relatively cheap, non-invasive, and needs no anesthesia and can be a first-line diagnostic step in evaluation of DUB. The objectives of our study was to evaluate the causes of DUB by using the TBS, to evaluate the accuracy for myo and endometrial abnormalities in women with DUB, and to determine the validity parameters like sensitivity, specificity, positive, negative predictive values and accuracy of TBS in diagnosis of the causes of dysfunctional uterine bleeding. This prospective cross-sectional study was done in Dhaka Medical College Hospital, and 70 consecutive patients with the complaints of abnormal bleeding, uterine bleeding, between the ages of 25 to 55 years were included in our study. And the exclusion criteria was like those who have active pelvic infection, obvious vaginal, vulval and cervical causes of bleeding, and patients on hormone. We excluded those group of patients, and these were our exclusion criteria. The TBS was done in Dhaka Medical College with 2D sonoline scanner of 7 MHz probe and Voluson E8 high frequency 3D endovaginal probe. We have seen endometrium and were categorized as proliferative, secretory, atrophic and hyperplastic type. And to see the presence of intramural submucosal fibroids, endometrial polyp, adenomyosis, and any suspected malignancy. Also the endometrial thickness and adnexal bands were noted. Our final diagnosis was done on TBS, and it was compared with the endometrial blocks only through histopathological examination, and we also had longitudinal follow-up of the patients. The variables were endometrial thickness, myometrial echogenicity, presence of any cystic lesions with presence or absence of low-level internal echo, presence or absence of elongated echogenic structures, and also the presence and absence of any endometrial mass. These were our variables. The observations were like that. The mean age of the patients were 34.5 years, and out of the 70 patients, 55 patients were pre and 50 patients were postmenopausal. The most common cause that we encountered for dysfunctional bleeding in our study was adenomyosis, then leiomyoma. And the other causes were like polyp, endometriosis, endometrial hyperplasia and endometrial carcinoma. The pie chart here showing the various TBS diagnoses in patients with DUB, and the maximum percentage was in adenomyosis, which is about 40%, and 31% was leiomyoma. Comparison of TBS was done with endometrial block sampling and the histopathology, and we TBS 56 positive cases. Out of these, our histopathology has proven 53 cases as positive, and out of the case positive 14 cases, histopathology probed 12 true negative cases. These are the validity parameters showing the sensitivity, specificity and other parameters. Actually the accuracy was about 92%. And with which may have reduced the precision of our results. And TBS alone is not sufficient in the evaluation of endometrial polyp as a cause of abnormal bleeding, so it can be confused with endometrial hyperplasia. So the study with larger study population involving several investigators at multiple centers may increase the precision of studies, and hydrosonography is recommended to exclude the polyp, endometrial polyp from endometrial hyperplasia in addition to TBS. This is our recommendation about our study, and the conclusion of our study was that TBS allows detection of an endometrial and myometrial pathological cases with high accuracy. So it can be used as the first line important diagnostic investigating tool in women with dysfunctional uterine bleeding in pre and postmenopausal age group. And here is some of the images of TBS images of our cases, and this is it. You can see that this is the uterus, the enlarged uterus. Uterus is enlarged. There is a heterogeneous myometrium and abnormal anechoic legs of endometrial glands within the myometrium, and there is a typical feature of adenomyosis. This is the image of the endometrial carcinoma. You can see that there is an irregular hyperechoic mass within the endometrial cavity that distorting and obliterating the cavity. And this is the diagnosed as endometrial carcinoma. We have compared these findings with the endometrial bronch sampling, and they also confirmed it as endometrial carcinoma. This is a large subserous pedunculated fibroid that is distorting the uterus and causing compression over the endometrial cavity. And this is the image of the subserous pedunculated fibroid. Another patients with endometrial carcinoma, you can see the large irregular hyperechoic mass, hyperechoic lesion within the endocavity. This lesion. This is the endometrial carcinoma. There is a large. This is the uterus, and there is a large fibroid that is distorting the uterine cavity, endometrial cavity. This is the large uterine fibroid. The thickness of endometrium is in the late secretory phase is about 16 millimeter, and here we can see that there is a very thickened endometrium, and this is compatible with endometrial hyperplasia. This is the image of the endometrial polyp. You can see the large echogenic structure, echogenic linear structure within the endocavity. This is an image of endometrial polyp. And thank you all for patient hearing. Thank you everyone.